Survival of the fittest. One more chance, they say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf, God can't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York with a pitch.
Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and our home team. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and partner, our long national nightmare is over. After 6 months away, we're back to playing football.
And this is way better than Watergate, isn't it? Now we get to have some fun. Watch the veterans. They'll play a little bit. We know that. But they make the field and earn their spot.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first is Wentz. And his first look is incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 78 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. A first down throw from Mayfield. Out left side here to Bryant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw, Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. They'll run it now out of the gun. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Wentz now to throw. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And look at this, another fake. And this is caught. Nice move at the 40. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing. Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about...
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Baker Mayfield taking it in. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen, because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Here's a Johnny. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on 1st down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to
set the tone of dominance and physicality and pound the rock.
Now Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football.
And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw here. Got it open, then he completes it to Callaway. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. On the carry, here's Clement.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
This is Clement. And an alley to run. And down he'll go at the 25. 11 yards on the pickup. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And they're going to fake it. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise,
and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Nick Foles keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Complete here. It's Hyde. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All right, now look at 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Foles. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Browns send out their punter now. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
So that'll set the offense back 5, make it 1st and 15. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Foles. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Foles. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Boy, shifts past him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll throw now on the final play. Pass incomplete. So we have reached, boy, a rough crowd. No football for 6 months already. Quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, it's Johnson pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now back to throw. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher. Guys,
and he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A run, it's Clement. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. The 40, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way. Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A little juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so. The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out. Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Again, it's Johnson. Well, a pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Brought down by Nate Gary. You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him. And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball? That's accurate, yeah. And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved. He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half. Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. And this is incomplete. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down. They'll look to throw. They go screen pass to Hyde. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up. It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar. If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. If you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run with Clement. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll drop the throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is running. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On play action, they'll throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Joe Schobert in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On third down, he'll drop the throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
On third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Returnable here for Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw, and he fires one, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Trying to lay one up deep, and that's caught inside the 30. No reason not. To try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Underneath for Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. Tackle made by Tanner Vallejo. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run again with Clement. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Brad Nordman now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 30. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And I got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this. They're just saying, hey, put those points.
That much easier.